Hello everyone, in this video we're going to go over a step-by-step on how to apply for social insurance number in Canada. I have already included the link for this page in the bio. You can just click on the link and it's going to bring you to this page. This is where you can apply for your SIN. If you don't know how to access the link, or if the link is not working for you for some reason, you want to go on Google and type how to apply for SIN number, and then the first link that pops up, this one right here, is the one that you want to click on. And it's going to bring you to this page, which again, I have already included the link for this in the bio. Before I start the video, I just wanted to let you know that if this video helped you in any way, don't forget to subscribe. It would really help my channel. So let's just begin. So after you're on this page, you want to scroll down. Then it's going to ask you some very basic questions like, are you applying for yourself or for somebody else? If you're applying for yourself, you want to pick the first option. This option right here, this is the one that you want to pick if you're applying for your SIN. If you're applying on somebody else's behalf for their SIN, you want to consider one of these three options. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to go ahead and say that I'm applying for my own SIN. So I'm going to pick the first option. Then the second question is asking for the status, your status in Canada. This question is very important because based on the option you pick, you must provide the appropriate immigration document. What do I mean by that? If you pick option number 2, you're a permanent resident, then you have to provide your PR card as one of the documents. It's a must. If you pick option number 3, temporary resident, this option is for international students, people who are in Canada on work permit, and people who are here on a visitor visa. So if you're an international student, if you're here on work permit, or if you're here on visitor visa, you want to pick this option. And it will ask you to upload your work permit or a student visa or visitor visa depending on your status in Canada. And again, if you're a permanent resident, you must upload your PR card. For the sake of this video, I'm going to go ahead and pick option number 3. I'm going to go ahead and say I'm an international student. Then it's going to ask me if I want to apply online, in person, or by mail. You got to keep in mind that if you pick online, it's going to take up to 15 business days for you to receive your SIN number. So if you apply online, it's going to take 5 business days for them to process your application, and it's going to take up to 10 business days for them to submit you your SIN. If you apply in person, they will give it to you right away in the office. So if you're in a rush to get your SIN, you want to go ahead in person to the office, and they will give you your SIN right away the same day that you go there in person. However, if you're not restricted by time, if you're in no rush, and if you can wait, I highly recommend you to go ahead with online option. It's easier. If you're new to the country, you don't have a car, and the commute is hard for you, you want to go ahead with the online option. But again, keep in mind, it's going to take up to 15 business days for you to receive your SIN number. After you pick the option that works best for you, then you can just scroll down, and it's going to show you the documents that you must have. As I mentioned, if you're here on work permit, they will ask you to upload your work permit. If you're here as international student, then they will ask you to provide your study permit. And if you're here on visitor visa and you need a SIN for some reason, then you must have your visitor record and upload those. You must only provide one of the following documents. So again, if you're here on work permit, you only need your work permit. That's it. The other options don't apply to you if you're here on work permit, or if you're here on a study permit, you just want your study permit. The other options, these ones and this one, they don't apply to you. You can just ignore them. You just need your study permit that's issued by IRCC. That's one of the documents you need. You need 2 documents. One will be your immigration document, which in this case I'm going to go ahead and say it's a study permit, and then you also need your passport. If you have a driver license or an ID card or any other Canadian government issued ID, those are acceptable. But again, if you're new to the country and you don't have any of those, that's totally fine. You can just use your passport, and if it's a foreign passport, that's totally fine. That's not a problem. So you can just use that. The third document, this one right here, this is optional. This is only for people whose name are different on their SIN application from their passport and a student visa or work permit. So if your name is different on your SIN application from your passport and from your work permit or your student visa, then you must also consider having this third document. But again, if your name is not different on your SIN application from your passport and your immigration document, then you do not need to have the third supporting document. You can just ignore this. After you're done reviewing these information, then you can just go ahead and click apply online. Then it's going to bring you to this page. As I mentioned before, if you apply online, then they will take 5 business days to process your application. And then after they process your application within 5 business days, then they're gonna respond by mail or online. That's up to you, within 10 business days. So within 15 business days, you will get your SIN number. But if you go there in person, you will get it right away. This is just basically what this is saying. It's going to take them up to 15 business days to send you your SIN number if you apply online. And also they're just letting you know that you must make sure that you have a copy of the documents that we just talked about, your immigration document and your passport. You just have an electronic digital copy of those so that you can upload it here. After you're done reviewing this, you can just scroll down. You got to make sure to check this box right here. And then you also want to check this box right here. Then when you're done, it's gonna from now on it's gonna basically just repeat the questions that we just talked about. Like it's gonna ask you if you're applying for your own SIN number or if you're applying for somebody else's. As I mentioned before, we're applying for ourselves. Then you want to click on next. Then again, it's gonna ask you for your status in Canada. If you're a permanent resident, you want to pick this option, but keep in mind they're gonna ask you to show your PR card. If you're here in Canada on a student visa, if you're here in Canada on work permit, or if you're here in Canada on visitor visa, you want to pick this option. You're a temporary resident. And then based on this option, they're going to ask you to show the relevant immigration document. So again, if you're here on work permit, they're going to ask you to show your work permit. If you're here on a student visa, they're going to ask you to show your student visa. After you pick that option, then they're going to ask you if you want to receive your PIN by mail or if you want to receive it online. That's up to you. That's just based on your own preferences. But if you decide to, so you can choose to receive it online, which is this option right here, and you can also choose to receive it by mail. But keep in mind, if you pick this option right here, you must create an account in My Service Canada account so that they can send you the SIN number into this account. So in order for you to access your SIN number, you must sign into this account and then you can access your SIN number. And if you choose this option, you will not receive your SIN number in mail. So if you're not sure, if you're new to the country and you're not sure of your current address, you might move to a new address, then you might want to go ahead and pick this option, receiving the SIN number through your My Service Canada account. But if you're sure about your address and you know that you're not going to move, you may want to go ahead and pick this option. For the sake of this video, we're just going to go ahead and say we want to receive our SIN number online. Again, if you want to receive it by mail, that's totally fine. I'm just going to go ahead and say I want to receive my SIN number online through my Service Canada account. When I pick this option, again, you have to register for My Service Canada account. And then after you pick this option, you just scroll down. It's asking for your preferred language of correspondence. You just pick English. So this option right here, you got to make sure that it has a check mark right next to it, because it's just confirming that you want to receive email notification once your application has been received by Service Canada. So make sure this option has a check mark next to it. Then you want to go ahead and type your email address here. Make sure you give them an email address that you have access to and you regularly check, because again, they will send you a confirmation to this email. I'm going to go ahead and say, this is my email address. And as soon as you click next, they're going to let you know that they want you to confirm that email address. So you just want to go ahead and click on continue. They will send you a verification code to the email address that you just provided, just to make sure that you entered the right email address and for them to verify your email address. And then you want to type that code that they sent to your email in here. After you type the code that they sent you here, you click on continue. and then it will allow you to move on to the next step. Then it's gonna ask you to type your first name, and it must be as it's shown on your primary identity document. It must be as it's shown on your immigration document and on your passport. I'm just gonna go ahead and say my name is. So make sure you type it in capital letters, because on the primary identity document and on your passport, they always use capital letters. So you want to make sure that you're typing your first name exactly as it's shown on your passport and on your immigration document. So go ahead and type it in capital letters. And then if you don't have, second question, it's asking if you have any other given names. If you don't, you just leave it blank and you move on to the next question, which is your family name. And again, it must be as it's shown on your passport and immigration document. I'm just going to go ahead and say it's Ross. Then I'm going to move on to the next question. It's asking for my family name at birth. I'm going to go ahead and say it was the same thing, Ross. I'm just going to retype it. And then it's asking if you have ever used any other family names. If you have not, you just leave it blank and you move on to the next part, which is birthplace. I'm just gonna pick my place of birth. I'm gonna say that I was born in Turkey. After I entered my country of birth, then it's asking for the province, territory. Then it's asking for the province, territory, or state that I was born. I'm gonna go ahead and say I was born in Istanbul. And then it's asking which city. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it's again Istanbul. And then I can move on to the next section. It's asking for my date of birth. I'm gonna go ahead and say I was born in 1966, November 15. Then it's asking for my gender. I'm gonna pick female. Then it's asking if I'm a twin or a triplet. I'm gonna go ahead and say no. Then it's asking if I have ever applied for SIN number. I'm gonna go ahead and say no. After you're done answering these questions, you can click on next. And then it's gonna bring you to this page where it's gonna ask for your phone number. I'm gonna go ahead and say this is my phone number. If you have a different phone number, you might want to include it here. If not, you just leave it blank and then you move on to your mailing address. You just leave this part blank and you move on to the next part, which is asking for your apartment, unit, or suite number. If you're living in an apartment, you want to include it here. If you do not live in an apartment, then you can just leave this part blank and move on to the street number. I'm gonna say that I live in a house and the street number for that house it's 23. Street name, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's Pharmacy Avenue. Then it's asking for the town. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's Toronto, country Canada. Postal code M1M 2M2. Then you want to make sure that the information you have provided here, this is the information you typed here. So you want to make sure these are right. If you pick the option for your SIN number to be mailed to you, you want to make sure that you're giving them the right address, because they are going to send your SIN number to this address right here. So make sure this is correct. After you check the address, you want to go ahead and check the box right here that says that you confirm the address is right. Then you click on next. Oh, I forgot to enter the province. Oops. I forgot to enter the province. As you can see, if you don't fill out all the necessary boxes, it's not going to let you to move on to the next step. It's going to give you an error, and it's going to let you know what that error is right here. It says that you must select a province. I forgot to do that. I picked Ontario, and as you can see, I can confirm that my address is right. Then I'm just going to check this box right here and click on next. Now I can move on to the next step. It's asking the kind of documents that I'm wishing to provide. First of all, if I'm here on a student visa, I'm going to go ahead and pick this option, a study permit. If you're here on work permit, you want to consider selecting this. And if you're here on visitor visa, you want to consider selecting this. I'm going to go ahead and say I'm an international student, so I'm just going to go ahead and pick this. And here it's asking you to upload that document. So after you pick your document here, then you have to upload your document. You have to upload your study permit. You just click on the upload button right here. You click on that, and then you click on choose file, and then you just, after you attach your file, you click on add file. Let me just attach something. So I just attached something just to show you that after you attach it, you can just click on add files and it will attach your document to your application. You can see that your document has been attached here. You can see it. And then it's asking for the date of expiry on your document, on your student visa. I'm just going to go ahead and say that the date of expiry on my student visa is 2025. I'm going to say it's August 31st. And then after you enter those information, you just have to go ahead and upload your secondary document, which is going to be your passport. If you have a driver license, that's also acceptable. If you have ID card, that's also acceptable. But if you don't have any of them, you can just go ahead and upload your passport. Again, you just repeat the same process. You click on upload, you attach something here. And then after you attach that document, you click on add files. And then again, it's going to ask for your date of expiry of your passport. I'm going to go ahead and say 2028. I don't know, January, let's say January. And the third one, this is just the supporting document. This right here is for people whose name on their SIN application is different from their name on their passport and their immigration document. If your name is not different from, if your name on your SIN application is not different from your name on your passport and immigration document, then you do not need to attach anything in this section. You just have to answer these questions accordingly. So it's asking if the name on the documents that you already provided, your passport and your SIN, is the same as the name that you're using on your SIN application. You just want to go ahead and pick yes. That's basically what it's asking you. It's asking all documents provided contain the first name, first given name. You want to go ahead and say yes. It's asking you if all the names matches the name that you mentioned on this application. You want to go ahead and say yes. And then for the family name, it's asking if your family name is the same as all the names on your documents. You want to go ahead and pick yes again. So as you can see, after you pick yes, it's going to let you know that you do not need to provide a supporting document. You're good. These two documents are all you need after you're done with this section. So again, you want to make sure that if your name is the same on your immigration document and your passport and your SIN application, you want to pick yes for these two questions. Then you want to move on to the next section. Then it's asking for your parent information. This first part is for your mother. It doesn't matter. It can be for your mother or father. It doesn't matter. The order doesn't matter. And then the second part is the second parent. So I'm going to go ahead and say that the first part is my mother's information. I'm going to go ahead and say my mother's name is Tina, and try to use capital letters just to make sure that there won't be any confusion. Just use capital letters in this application. And then it's asking for my mother's family name at birth. I'm going to go ahead and say Black. And then I'm going to scroll down. And then I'm going to enter my father's information. I'm going to say his name is Sam and his family name is Ross. Again, make sure you use capital letters. After you entered your parents' information, you click on next. Then it's going to show you all the information that you've provided. You want to make sure you review all of them. You want to make sure they're all right. Your mailing address, you want to make sure that's right. You want to make sure that your phone number is right. You want to make sure that your the spelling of your name and family name and your date of birth, they're all correct. Then you want to make sure that your parents' informations are correct. And after you're done answering all these, after you're done reviewing all these information, then you can just type your name here. I'm going to go ahead and say Music Ross. Again, use capital letters. And then I have to check the box right next to this sentence. I certify the information provided on the application form is true, accurate, and complete. And then you want to click on submit right here. And that's it. That's how you apply for your SIN number online. Hopefully this video was helpful. I will try to make a video about how to register for my Service Canada account. And I will try to link it in the bio. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Good luck with